Roll. Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. And it is a happy Tuesday because I had a great Monday night. I only had 6 bets on the ticket, but they went 4-1-1, 1.76 units. It was needed. Actually, it wasn't needed. Last week was a winning week. I shouldn't say it's needed, but it was nice. How about that? It was nice. Yeah, we got 15 games to go through. A lot to talk about. A lot of bets to give out. So let's run the intro and get into it.
Welcome to the source. The source. Source. Hey, get the source.
All right, so like I said, 15 games. How did you do last night, Toast? You have a good night? I didn't even ask you.
Yeah, all is good. I can't remember what I was like. I was like maybe like a 0.75, maybe a unit up on my sides and totals, but had another nice night with props. So
and you passed on Baltimore, right? You didn't take that?
I did, yeah. I did pass on them, unfortunately.
Well, Toronto had several chances to win that game last night.
They
Okay.
did.
So let's start with Phillies Marlins. Let's get the polls running. Let's kick it off here.
And that's why he's doing the poll. That's where, like, it's different because, like, I don't even think Bassett pitched that bad. He looked really good in the first inning and then, like, let 2 guys kind of get away from him. And then, like, essentially, like, an inside-out swing ropes into a double. It's just, like, more unlucky than anything. But, yeah.
I was guilty of – I was in our VIP chat, and I was like, oh, Bassett sucks. But in reality, I was working. I had it on the TV, but I wasn't watching. So sometimes you could curse out a pitcher, and it's not even his fault if you're watching, you know. So I really wasn't watching him like that. I just knew that there was 4-0. But anyway, Phillies at Marlins poll is running. It's a small bet for me, but I'm taking the Phillies here. I don't like how I feel like they're daring me to with this price. I got it at plus 115. But with all the money, it looks like if you look at the pie charts in the bottom here, action's all over the Marlins, so it makes me feel a little bit better about the price. Look, I know Ranger Suarez struggled against the Marlins that was just about 3 weeks ago. I think it was on July 8th, 5 2/3 innings pitched. This was on the road in Miami. 8 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks. That is not a good outing. But look at his previous 4 starts against the Marlins before that one. He's 3-0 with an 0.82 ERA. So he hasn't had problems with this team. He just got hit up once a few weeks ago. We know Ranger Suarez is better on the road. This graphic is not a good one for Ranger Suarez. It shows how much his production has dropped off from June into July. His ERA in June was a 1.08, in July a 6.11. So that actually hurts my point as far as the Phillies. But how about this? Can we talk about the Marlins versus lefties for a second? Because they're not really getting to them. Since July 1st, just 21st in on-base percentage, 26th in isolated power, 22nd in WRC+, not really getting to lefties. Marlins were hitting lefties back in like early June, not putting up the numbers now. Sandy Alcantara does actually he has bad numbers against the Phillies, but he does actually have much better numbers against the Phillies at home than his trips to Philadelphia, so you give him some credit there. And the Phillies haven't been hitting righties, so I can understand why people are betting the Marlins, but can we get to the bullpens for a second? First of all, the Phillies bullpen has been much better. This is where this game just gets crazy. First, let's look at the Marlins bullpen. Look at this. No Tanner Scott, no AJ Puck, no Okert, no, I don't know who Brazoban is, but no that guy. So David Robinson they have, and Jorge Lopez. All their lefties are gone. They're going to be forced to use righties out of the pen here. Phillies, on the other hand, they're also a mess. So the second half of this game is going to be crazy. No Kimbrel, no Jeff Hoffman. You're going to have Soto and Dominguez. So the Phillies, I guess, maybe slight edge in the bullpen. But at plus money, I think this game's a bit of a coin flip. I'll take the Phillies, who I think have been playing better overall baseball.
I don't know, but Kimbrel wasn't on the unavailable list this morning. So there, with him only going 12 pitches, he's went 4 of the last 6, but only no more than 15 pitches in any of those, only 9 yesterday. So I could envision a scenario if the Phillies have the lead that we may see Kimbrel, but he's definitely high usage. He'd be out for the next 2 days probably, but Soto's available. He only has 11 pitches in the last 3 days. Sir Anthony Dominguez only 25 pitches in the last couple of days. So the big guys in that bullpen, at least those top 2, all take. And like Saw said, Miami doesn't have the other ones. It's a play on the number for me. I'm on the Phillies as well. I understand that Sandy is my guy, and I think that he has been, pitching a lot better. But at the same time, I can't agree, or I can't ignore how well Ranger Suarez has pitched against the Marlins in his career. I understand, like Saw said, he got hit up the last time, and he hasn't looked great his last few times out. But this Marlins team's still going to have to prove to me that they can hit left-handed pitching. I know that Soler has 2 home runs against Suarez in his career. He hasn't really been hitting the ball that well lately, so maybe he comes back to life, and maybe we're suckers. But at plus 115, I really had no choice but to take the Phillies.
Yeah, it's pretty much everyone's betting the Marlins, and I'm getting the Phillies at plus 115 in the game. I think is close to a coin flip. It's not like the Phillies are a lock. I'm not saying anything like that. So our poll slightly leading Miami, it looks like. 47% of our viewers betting the Marlins, 41% betting the Phillies. So that one's pretty close. 7% under, 3% over. So the under wins a poll. Let's go to the next game. Detroit at Pittsburgh. Let's run the poll on this one. Tigers, Pirates. I had this one on my ticket, and I was going to play 0.75 units, and I had it all lined up. And then about 5 minutes before I hit upload and went to place my bets, I deleted it off. So I do like the Pirates here, but I ended up taking it off. Pirates, money line. It was at minus 122 on FanDuel about an hour and a half ago. But like I said, I'll put Pirates or pass because I didn't actually bet this. I don't want to give people the wrong idea. Pirates or pass, I'll put. Matt Manning, here's his home-away splits. Definitely been more reliable at home. This one's on the road in Pittsburgh. Matt Manning also... that's the wrong one. Matt Manning also struggles at night. Prop Beaver loves these day and night splits. At nights, 480 ERA, 123 whip. This is a road night game, so the worst splits possible for Matt Manning. Look at the Pirates against righties. Weirdly hitting right-handed pitching recently. In the last 2 weeks, they're 16th in WRC+, 5th in isolated power. They've gotten to the last 5 righty starters they've seen, and there's some crazy names in there. Ohtani, Yu Darvish. They've gotten to good righty starters recently, so I have no doubt they're going to be able to score on Matt Manning. But the reason I really ended up keeping it off was I can't trust Johan Oviedo. Look at this tells the whole story, this graphic right here. Look at Oviedo's last 5 starts. Try finding a pattern here. He throws a gem on the road in San Diego, 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run. Then gets absolutely murdered by the Angels. I'm sorry, I'm moving backwards. Before that, he gets absolutely murdered by the Angels. Before that, 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run against the Giants. Throws an absolute gem. And then before that, gets murdered by the Dodgers. Before that, gets murdered by the Brewers. Violently murdered by the Brewers. So, I mean, good luck trying to find a pattern in that one. That's the reason I kept it off. But I definitely would bet Pittsburgh gun to my head because the Pirates' bats against righties are so... Tigers' bats against righties have been so bad.
Yeah, I played Detroit first 5.
Wow.
I played... Yeah, I really do like Matt Manning. His last couple starts, I know that the Angels really hit him up hard, but before that, only 2 innings in San Diego, so really kind of throw that, or against San Diego, kind of throw that out. But on the road at Kansas City, 5 2/3, 2 runs. On the road at Colorado, again, it is Colorado, 4 runs. On the road at Texas, 5 2/3, 2 runs. On the road at Toronto, 6 innings, 4 runs. I don't really think that the Pittsburgh Pirates have the same profile as those teams that I just mentioned. And Oviedo is not a guy I really trust. If he goes back-to-back gems on me, so be it. But at 105 or damn near even money, I'll take my chances with the Tigers in the first 5, who, by the way, have actually been kind of scoring runs. If you take a look at their last few games, their runs scored 6-5, 5-4, 0-6-5. So they're putting runs across the board. So just in the first 5 for me, though, but I'm on the Pirates, or the Tigers.
Does it worry you that Matt Manning has worse splits in night games?
Terrified. That's the one thing that was holding me off this bet.
Let's see what the poll thinks on this one. Everyone's on my side here. 58% of our viewers betting the Pirates, 29% betting the Tigers, 7% over, 4% under. Let's cruise on to game number 3. Brewers at Nats. Brewers at Nats. Let's run a poll. Brewers.
Yes, TJ, you're right about the hat.
What? Oh, yes, it is a Sandlot hat. It's the Beast holding the ball. It's found it on Amazon. Dope hat. All right, poll is running. Cast your votes. For me, I am playing Washington first 5 money line, but it's not a heavy bet. I really wish this game was in Milwaukee, and I would love it because we probably get it like plus 135. And Josiah Gray's better on the road. And Freddie Peralta's got worse splits at home recently. So if this game was on the road in Milwaukee, I would be hammering this. It's just a small bet for me. Look at Freddie Peralta's last 3 starts against, actually his only 3. He's only got 3 career starts against the Nats. They're not good. He's just 1-2 with a 7.31 ERA, 1.69 home runs per 9. So they've been putting the ball out of the park on him. Yeah, he has been slightly better on his home. This is his last 5 home starts versus last 5 road starts here. Slightly better on the road. Nats against righties. I mean, these numbers shouldn't scare anybody. 12th in on-base percentage, somewhat respectable. This is why it's a small bet. If you take out the Carlos Carrasco game where the Nats murdered Carlos Carrasco, if you take that game out, the last 5 righty starters to pitch against the Nats combined for a 1.03 ERA and an 0.92 WHIP. So that's really not getting to righty starters, which I'm kind of arguing against my point here. But you know who's hot? Josiah Gray. On his last 2 starts, he's gone on the road at Citi Field against the Mets and at home against the Giants through 2 great games. Those 2 games combined 13 innings pitched, just 1 run. So Josiah Gray's pitching well right now. And as we know, day and night splits again. As we know, the Brewers lineup, yeah, we're going to talk shit about the Nats lineup against righties. Why don't we mention the Brewers lineup against righties? Because in the last 14 days, they're just 24th in isolated power, 25th in WRC+. So I expect Josiah Gray to pitch a great game here. Bullpen-wise, no question, Brewers have the edge. So I'm going to take the bullpens out of it. Give me the Nats in the first 5 at plus 120. Small bet, though.
Yeah, I lean the same way. It was a pass for me. Just little context into Freddie Peralta's last 3 starts. The 2 starts at home, he got rocked. The 1 start on the road, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. So big stark difference there. That's why I couldn't really get to Washington there, because Freddie has looked good 2 of his last 3 starts. The Braves hit him up pretty hard, but besides that, he's been pretty damn good. Obviously, both of them against Cincinnati, but still, to see a team like Cincinnati a second time and pitch well against them, that's a little bit impressive to me, given the way the Reds have been performing this year. So it was enough for Washington. I couldn't bet Milwaukee in this spot. It would definitely be Washington or pass for me.
It seems like a lot of our viewers are on the Nats. The reason I'm not playing Washington of the full game is not only once you get in the second half of this game, the Brewers are going to have the huge advantage. Milwaukee's bullpen's been great, and the Nats have been bad. But not only that, the Nats bullpen is also taxed. So they're tired on top of being bad. This is one of those games I'm going to have circled as a possible live bet. If the Nats do have a nice 3-1 lead heading into the 5th inning, 6th inning, I might look at a live Brewers money line depending on how it's looking. But yeah, let's see how the poll did. Wow, this one's pretty split even. Nationals win. 46% of our viewers betting the Washington Nationals, 45% betting the Brewers, and the under wins again. 4% under, 3% over.
Yeah.
Move on to
the fact that Finnegan, Weems, and Thompson, all 3 of the last 4 days, if not more, is just really hard to.
And their main dude's hurt, Harvey.
Well, I know, yeah,
but he's been hurt, yeah. Rays at Yankees are next. Let's run the poll. Rays, Yankees, over, under. Poll is running. Cast your votes. Okay. So hold on. Let me get my notes ready for this one. Here we go. So I'm betting this one. I'm betting the Yanks. Straight up on the money line. I think I got it at like minus 108 or something like that. It's basically a pick 'em this game, or at least it was about an hour ago. I am on the Yankees. First of all, Zach Eflin has only made 1 career start at Yankee Stadium. It was earlier this season. The Rays won that game. I think it was 8-7 or 7-6, the final score. But Zach Eflin wasn't particularly good in it. He went 6 innings, but he gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, including 2 homers. So the Yankees got to Eflin earlier in the season when he came into their ballpark. As we know, Zach Eflin, much more reliable at home in Tampa. He's been a beast at home in Tampa this whole year. But look at his numbers on the road. 5.36 ERA, 3.25 WOBA. I mean, those aren't elite. He's definitely vulnerable on the road. And this is a big one. This is a big one right here. Look at his splits against righty and lefty bats here. Much more vulnerable against right-handed bats. 3.14 WOBA against righties compared to a 2.33 versus lefties. 1.27 WHIP compared to an 0.81. The reason this is so important, the Yankees are super righty heavy. Yankees are going to have, 7 righties in their lineup tonight? So this is significant right here. He's going to be pitching against a lineup full of righties. Yankees bats against righties. Obviously, these numbers aren't going to blow you away. But keep in mind, Judge is back. I know Toast rolls his eyes when everyone says Judge is back, but he is. That's a fact.
Not now.
And Carlos Rodon.
First 2 games.
Carlos Rodon, I am not going to sit here and defend and try to tell you he's been good. He has it. He's got a 6.11 expected FIP through his 4 starts. But look at this. This is the moneymaker right here. Since July 1st, you want to know where the Tampa Bay Rays rank against left-handed pitching? 30th. Dead last. This has been, analytically, the worst lineup in baseball against left-handed pitching since July 1st. Dead last. 30th in on-base percentage, 30th in WRC+. So if there's ever a spot for Carlos Rodon to get his shit together and pitch a nice game, it's right now. I like the Yanks to take this one. Huge game for the team.
Could not agree more. Love the Yankees in this spot. Yeah, I got them at minus 105. I think you can still get that many places. I think we see a Rondon masterclass tonight. Sauce just executed it perfectly and illustrated how bad Tampa Bay Rays have been against left-handed pitching. And that Eflin game against the Yankees earlier in the year, there's going to be no Stanton or Bader in the lineup tonight. Well, guess what? There wasn't Stanton in the previous game. Bader went 1 for 4 in that game. So neither one of those two really did much contributing in the first game, and they didn't have him either. So I don't really worry about those two not in the Yankees lineup. So Yankees have a clear bullpen advantage as well. I'm getting them short to even money at home. It was a no-brainer for me.
All right, let's see if the viewers agree, and they don't. Viewers are not on our side in this one. 48% of our community betting Tampa, 40% betting the Yankees, so it's pretty close. 5% under, 5% over, so split on the total. All right, let's move on to the next game. Me and Toast on the same side on that one. Baltimore at Toronto. Let's run a poll here. Orioles, Blue Jays. Mr. Ryu is back. I'm going to let Toast have the mic on this one because this is just a straight pass for me. I would love... Hold on. Let me put pass on the screen before I pull it up. I would love to bet back Ryu in Toronto because of this. The Baltimore bullpen is taxed. No Batista. Bingo. No Cano. No Colombe. So Baltimore's bullpen is definitely taxed tonight. But, I mean, I really don't feel comfortable backing Ryu in his first start. It's been over a year, right, since he's started?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a pass for me. I would love to bet Toronto. That's where I want to be. I just don't know if I can get there.
Yeah, I'm on the Jays. Not a huge bet for me, but I did bet the Blue Jays at minus 115. Just a completely gutted bullpen for the Baltimore Orioles, as Kyle just said. So a huge bullpen advantage for Toronto in this game. I just think that if Ryu can get through 4 innings at just keeping Toronto in this game, Hicks, Swanson, Garcia, Miza, Richards, I mean, they are freaking loaded in the back end for Toronto in this game. So I'm well aware that Bichette's not going to be in the lineup. But at the same time, Whit Merrifield is one of the hotter hitters in the American League right now. You still have Brandon Belt that always gets on base, Guerrero, Chapman, Varsho, Jansen has power. So it's scary to fade Baltimore, absolutely. But I like to fade Baltimore when they don't have the big guns in the bullpen, and this is a spot. So I'll take my chances at a nice short price with the Jays.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, you can't argue with this. This is their 3 main arms, and then you're relying on a guy like Fujinami, and if you haven't watched much Oakland baseball, that's a bad thing. That's a scary thing.
It's scary.
So the second half of this game, Toronto's going to have such a huge edge. But a poll is all over Orioles. Our comments all over Baltimore. Our community loves Baltimore. 75% of our viewers betting the O's here. 19% betting Toronto. 5% over. 0% under.
This game really feels like yesterday, how Noah Syndergaard everybody was betting against Noah Syndergaard, and he actually looked decent at times.
Yeah.
And the Astros ended up exploding.
It was pretty much one inning where the Astros did their damage. Someone said Baltimore first 5 money line, and that's something I could get behind.
I could see that. Yeah, I wouldn't argue that, but a full, I would agree. Especially at plus money, you'd be all right.
Angels at Braves.
Oh my God. I can't even fucking talk about this. Oh my God. Like, what a disgusting franchise the Atlanta Braves are. Just pack it in already. Pack it in.
Pack it in. They're in first place.
Oh my God. Just disgusting.
Polls running, cast your votes. Oh. I mean, I feel like my hands are tied in this one. How do you not take a shot with the Angels at plus 205? How do you not bet that? I hate that I feel like I'm forced to bet it. It just seems too obvious. But Patrick Sandoval's been good. And I don't know, Toast, I don't know if you checked this out. I was talking about it last night on YouTube. But do you know the last time the Braves saw a lefty starter? June 20th.
Right.
Ranger Suarez.
It's been a week and a half because all their at-bats were like tiny.
Yeah. They haven't seen a lefty starter in a month and a half. June 20th, Ranger Suarez. That's the last time the Braves have seen a lefty starter. And all the numbers are skewed because at that time, the Braves were murdering left-handed pitching. So if you look at the last few lefty starts against the Braves, it seems like they're 6 runs, 5 runs. But that's the old Braves. I have no idea how this Braves lineup is going to produce against a lefty starter here. I feel like there's not enough data out here. But at plus 205, the Angels' bats have been hot. Patrick Sandoval's been good. It's worth a shot. I mean, it's plus 205. So all you got to do is hit this at 33%, and you're in the green. Even higher than that, actually. But yeah, Angels, half unit play for me.
Yeah, I'm playing the Angels as well. This is the same thing as yesterday. This is like almost no different. Like, this is everybody's betting the Angels because of the prize. Like, the Braves should be the play, and they're not because they should pack it in. Spencer Strider really hasn't been the same Spencer Strider as we've known. His last few starts on the road at Boston, 6 1/3, 3 runs. At home against Arizona, 6 innings, 4 runs. At home against the White Sox, that's a hard one, 6 innings, 5 runs. Went to Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay's been killing it lately. He pitched well in Tampa Bay, and then he gave up 3 runs to the Fish. So really, he hasn't been pitching well for almost a month now. So at this point, with that Braves mid-ass bullpen, I'll take my chances with the Angels at a plus 200 price.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see the Braves winning at Strider. I get all that. It's just at plus 205, I can't pass that up.
Yeah, I can see the Braves winning too. Absolutely. I mean, but
our poll, everyone's on the Braves. They don't care that they're laying minus 270 juice, I guess. 59% of our viewers bet in the Braves, 28% bet in the Angels, 10% over, 1% under. All right.
I want a shirt that says "Pack it in" with the Braves logo under
it. Twins at Cardinals. I put down. Oh, actually, let me run a poll first. Twins, Cards.
Do we know who's pitching for the Cardinals yet?
I think it's Michaelis.
Okay, I thought so too, but.
Yeah, well, I did a whole video last night and got ready to record with all my notes set to Flaherty. And then I look and it was changed to Michael. This is getting worse than the NBA, man. It's getting worse than the NBA.
It's because of the trade deadline. I was assuming that because Flaherty's getting traded, but I mean, that hasn't came across. We got an hour and a half left, but yeah.
The trade deadline closes at 6 Eastern?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I'm going to let Toast have the mic on this one because for me, this is over or pass.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's over or pass or just a straight up St. Louis team total at 3.5 over for me. That would probably be my favorite bet in this game. As well as I mean, I haven't bet this game yet, but now that I'm seeing it's at 3.5, I'll probably bet that at home. I know that St. Louis hasn't been great lately against the Cubs, but before that, they were scoring runs. I mean, I have a hard time that this team that was so hot just doesn't score tonight, but with decent weather. But again, Pablo Lopez has been pretty damn decent, but on the road at Seattle and Oakland and then Baltimore as well, and Detroit. So again, none of those lineups really scare me, not nearly like the Cardinals would, but at 3.5, that's the only way I could look at this game. I couldn't get involved with the Twins right now.
Yeah, I expect the Cardinals to hit Pablo Lopez up, but the Twins have been so hot. My fear is that the Twins put up 6 runs on Michaelis right back. The Twins have been so hot against righties, and so that lineup's so explosive at times. So yeah, over a pass for me.
And the weird thing is, like Kyle said, that lineup's been explosive, and they've lost. Let's see, their last 5 games, and in those 5 games, they scored 7 runs, 5 runs,
crazy.
and 1 run. So, I mean, they are just a fucking disgrace right now.
Let's see what our poll thinks. Wow, our community's heavy on Minnesota here. Was not expecting that. 58% of our viewers betting the Twins, 29% betting St. Louis, 7% over, 3% under. If I had to pick a side, it would be the Cardinals, for the record, but I'm not going to bet it. Next game, White Sox at Rangers, and you know what? Let's run a poll. White Sox,
Run it.
Rangers, over, under. Run it. Cast your votes. I mean, this is just a small bet. I'm doing Texas -1.5. Everyone's betting the White Sox. This is just fading the public. I think people might be overreacting to some of the things that have gone on here. I know Jonah Heim and Corey Seager most likely still not in the lineup, but this is the White Sox. Andrew Heaney's actually put together some decent home starts recently. He had back-to-back shutout outings at home. So I know Andrew Heaney has kind of gotten the bad rap of being like an auto fade, but if you actually look at his numbers, he's not that bad. He's really not that bad, and especially at home recently. So I'll take a shot. Texas -1.5. Like I said, I was kind of shocked to see everyone betting the White Sox. So Texas -1.5 for a small bet.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more here. I think this, regardless of who's in the lineup with Texas, I think this team is probably rejuvenated. It has a little bit of, with the fact that they have essentially gone all in now, getting Monty, getting Scherzer. I think, as the prop beaver would say, the vibes are high in that clubhouse for sure.
Does prop beaver say that? No problem. Vibes are high.
Yeah. So I have no problem fading the White Sox, who we still don't know who they might unload in the next hour and a half. I mean, there's rumors out the gate, but I mean, like I said, it's just hard to know who's actually going to be in that White Sox lineup for sure. So I'll take my chances with Texas at home.
All right. We're both on the Rangers. And wow, our ball's all over the Rangers. So maybe all the action, the data showing the action all over the White Sox, maybe those bets all came in early. 72% of our viewers betting the Rangers, 21% betting the White Sox, 3% over, 3% under. All right, let's move on to the next one. Reds at Cubs. Let's run a poll. Are we a Reds program or are we not a Reds program today? Let's see. Reds, Cubs, over, under. Poll is officially running. Cast your votes. I don't know.
With you, Kyle.
Reds, baby. Plus 145. I'm fading Justin Steele.
I was struggling, and you made me see the light, so thank you, sir.
Reds at plus 145. So first of all, Ben Lively, this is his last 2 road starts, both solid. Now, granted, they're both against Milwaukee. He's actually 3 of his last 4 starts are against the Brewers. So take that with a grain of salt. But overall, Ben Lively seems to have gotten his shit together. You can see, if you remember, he got lit up a couple starts in early June. But look at the left side of this graph here. His last 6 starts, he's got a 3.23 ERA, 4.65 FIP, 3.35 WOBA. I mean, these aren't elite, but you got to be happy with that. He's been pitching well. Now, this is the scary part of the bet. Cubs at home, top 10 and everything. Cubs against righties in the last 2 weeks, first in everything. Terrifying. Cubs lineup is red hot without a doubt. No question about it. This is a scary spot for Ben Lively, but here's where the value is on the bet. The Reds own Justin Steele, man. This is just, they own him. Justin Steele pitched against the Reds back on May 26th. He got the shit beat out of him. 3 2/3 innings. Reds had 10 hits, 5 earned runs. Hold on before we get to that. Do you want to know what the Reds roster, current lineup, lifetime is against Justin Steele? They're 18 of 34. 18 hits and 34 at-bats. They're hitting 529 off Justin Steele lifetime. 529 batting average with a 1306 OPS. This guy cannot make outs against the Reds. And by the way, Justin Steele, we've seen him get lit up at home recently. I believe it was maybe like 4 weeks ago. The Boston Red Sox hit him into another dimension. So don't give me this Justin Steele's untouchable on Wrigley Field shit, because the Reds are about to smoke him. And then bullpen-wise, the Reds bullpen has taken a step up recently. It's still bullpen edge still goes to the Cubs, but I don't think it's as extreme as it would have been 3-4 weeks ago. So I'm taking a shot with the Reds on this one. Let's do it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I talked to Kyle briefly this morning, and I hadn't decided who I wanted to play yet. I was thinking about the Cubs with Steele at home, and he made me see the light, and it made me realize the Cubs have been very good at home, yes, but the Reds versus lefties, I mean, they have multiple guys with 900 or better OPSs. I mean, Molly, McLean, Newman, Senzel, Steer. I mean, all these guys with 900 OPSs or better. I just think that that's too big of a price to pay. This is a spot that we love to get the Reds in with a huge plus price, backs against the wall. And don't forget, it's not like the Reds are playing bad. They just went into Dodger Stadium and whooped some ass there. They whooped some ass last night. I mean, at plus 145, you could spend your money a lot worse.
Yep. And here's the question. Let's go to the poll. Are we a Reds program or not?
You know it, baby.
We are a Reds program today. 47% of our community betting Cincinnati, 43% betting the Cubs, 8% over. Not a single person in the comments is betting the under in this one, and I don't blame them. Let's move on to the next game. Cleveland at Houston. Let's run a poll. Guardians, Astros, over, under. All right, cast your votes. Guardians at Astros. This is a pretty simple one for... why isn't the graphics coming up for this one? Oh, here we go. All right, this is a pretty simple one for me. It's not a huge bet, but I'm going right back to what paid me last night. I had Houston minus 1.5 last night. Going right back to Astros minus 1.5 again. Don't love it. In fact... part of me wanted to try to get to Cleveland when I was first looking at this game. I just couldn't get there. So, first of all, I know if you look at Gavin Williams' last 3 starts, you're going to see that 2.08 ERA, and you're going to think, wow, this kid's dealing. But a 169 whip, 548 expected FIP, 169 whip, if you're unfamiliar with what whip is, that's walks, hits per innings pitch. So, that's basically base runners. It's averaging almost 2 base runners an inning. A 169 whip is more congruent with an ERA at around 5. Right, Toast, you would say? 169 whip, probably around 5. Yeah. So 208 ERA, yeah, that looks great, but he's been struggling. He hasn't been nearly as good as that ERA indicates. Now, the Astros' offensive numbers aren't blowing me away. Astros at home since July 1st, 11th in OPS, 20th in WRC+. Astros versus righties in the last 2 weeks, again, not blowing me away. 13th in WRC+, 15th in WOBA, 16th in OPS. And then Framber Valdez recent starts, not blowing me away at all. In fact, these look kind of scary. 7.29 ERA, 162 whip. This is Toast. Look at this chart.
Dude, relax. Watch your mouth.
I know you have a hard on for this guy.
Don't disrespect her.
I betted the Astros. Relax. I'm betting the Astros. I'm just saying we have to at least acknowledge that this guy's production is in a free fall.
Do you know how hard it is for me to like him and Sandy in the same year?
I know. But still, regardless of everything that's happened to Framber Valdez, look at his numbers at home on the season. You can't. He's got a 2.74 ERA and a 2.98 expected FIP. Not to mention he's pitching against Cleveland. That's much more dangerous. Oh man, I lost my Cleveland versus lefties graphic. No, whatever. The point is, Cleveland's lineup. I'm scared of that lineup against righties. Not against lefties. I actually think this is a great spot for Framber to get back on track. I'm expecting the deal. Bet the Astros bats to teach rookie Gavin Williams a few lessons. So Astros minus 1.5.
Yeah, I'm on the same thing. So I did Astros minus 1.5 too. And then I also parlayed Astros money line and Rangers money line. I did all of them for a half a unit just in case one of them doesn't cover the 1.5. But yeah, that's how I played it. Just not a fan of Gavin Williams just yet. He hasn't been terrible. His last start against the Royals and Phillies, but I just don't really trust that. Only 2 road starts in his last 7 games. One of them against Texas where he looked decent, and the other one against the Royals. So he obviously has the Royals number, but I think that we might get a Framber Valdez masterclass here tonight. It's been a while since we've had one. He loves pitching at home. And the Astros just traded for Verlander. I mean, at this point, he's pitching for his number 2 spot in the rotation at this point. So after getting hit up by Texas and Oakland, I fully expect him to pitch more like he pitched against Seattle at home, where he went 6 innings, only gave up 2 runs. If he does that, I think we have a really good chance of winning this game.
Completely agree. Let's see. And our community is like in Houston as well. 63% of our viewers betting the Astros, 26% betting the Guardians, 6% over, 3% under. Let's go on and cruise to the next game, which is Mets. Let's talk Mets baseball. Selling the house. I think most Mets fans are pleased with it, though.
I would be if I was a Mets fan. I would. It's hard. I mean, you're not going to do anything with it, and you just upgraded your farm system. I mean, you just got the Astros top two guys.
I'm not unhappy with it at all as a Mets fan, but this isn't a fan channel, so we'll get back to the betting. Mets at Royals. Poll is running. Go ahead and cast your votes. I actually ended up liking this a lot. I put 0.75 units on this. I like the over in this game at 9.5.
I played first 5 over at 5.5 at plus money.
Did you really? See, we're both thinking the same. So I like the over. Let's go. I do have some graphics for this one. First of all, Jose Quintana, only 2 starts. He's only made 2 starts since returning from injury. They weren't bad. 4.26 expected FIP, 3.27 ERA. Can't complain about those starts. Now, these numbers mean nothing to me. Some people like them. He's made 25 career starts against the Royals. Quintana has. He's 3-10 with a 4.17 ERA. Now, you might be asking why I don't care about them. He hasn't started a game against the Royals since 2019. So, I don't really care how he pitched against the Royals back in 2016. Who gives a shit? So I made that graphic because, I know people like to see history against the team, and a lot of times that is important data, but in this case, it isn't. Here's what puts me on the over instead of the Mets. The Royals bats is just weird right now. I mean, the Royals bats at home, top half of baseball. Look at the Royals against lefties in the month of July. They are weirdly hitting lefties. I can't explain it, but this has been going on for over a month now. Since July 1st, the Royals are 12th in average, 11th in OPS, 9th in isolated power. The Royals against left-handed pitching. I actually think this is a tough spot for Quintana, and I think the Royals are going to score on him. And the other side is Zach Greinke. I mean, this dude's just in the middle of a retirement tour. He had a great career. I don't want to disrespect him at all, but, it's time, man. It's time to hang the cleats up. Dude is just getting shelled left and right. Yeah, he's pitched well at home in Kansas City this year. I wouldn't even say well. He's pitched decent. But overall, look at the Mets offense. We shipped off Canna. Scherzer's gone. Robertson's gone. But the Mets are scoring runs. Since July 1st, the Mets are top half of baseball in all offensive categories on the road. They're also, look at their numbers against righties. Last 14 days, 5th in WRC plus against righties, 5th in OPS, 2nd in isolated power. So the Mets are scoring runs. And by the way, I'm on the over, so let's talk bullpens. Both these bullpens suck. I don't care what these numbers say. The Mets just traded Robertson. He was their only reliable arm in the bullpen. And the Royals' bullpen is truly trash. And they just traded Chapman a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, I think the Mets score runs on Zach Greinke. I think the Royals score runs on Quintana. And both bullpens suck. Give me the over.
Yeah, I couldn't. I just played the first 5 over at 5.5 at plus 100. I couldn't agree. I can't really add much except for the fact that there's a couple Royals that are really hitting lefties pretty well right now. Bobby Witt Jr. is one of them. Furman's the other one. Both of those guys are essentially $1 OPSs in the last 28 days. My boy Blanco's got a 998. Devon Blanco's got a 998 OPS too. So guys that are finally getting their chance in Major League Baseball are finally starting to do something for the Royals. So it was only a matter of time. I'm not saying that you can bet the Royals from here on out, but while they're hot and young, it's time worth it. And like Saw said, the Mets bats have been fine. It's just their pitching that's been horrible. So at plus money, I think to get to this over, you're gonna have to get some runs early. So I'll take my chances at 5.5.
Why not take the full game? I guess the plus money, I could say.
I love that plus money. I'm a slut for it.
I'm a slut for it. All right. The hell? All right, for 45% of our viewers betting the Mets, 36% betting the Royals, so not that decisive on the Mets. 12% betting the over, 5% on the under. All right, let's move on to the next game, which is Padres at Rockies. Let's run a poll. I was actually editing the video. I wasn't really watching this game that closely, but I saw Toast tweet something, and I was like, oh my God, the Rockies are blowing it. He tweeted something like, I'm done with this Padres team, or whatever the hell he said. So this is a pass for me, and I only have one graphic to pull up before I let Toast talk. This is definitely a pass. I would probably lean Padres minus 1.5 here. And the reason would, you know what? I'll say Padres are pass. I'll put that. And the reason for that is, goddamn, Padres or pass. And the reason for it is right here. Look at the Rockies bullpen usage right now. I don't know if you checked this out, Toast. They're cooked. No Justin Lawrence, who's been weirdly good. No Daniel Bard. They'll probably have Jake Bird, but no Matt Koch either. So they're missing a lot of. This is a bullpen that's actually been somewhat respectable over the last month and a half. Missing a lot of pieces. So gun to my head, I'll take Padres minus 1.5, but I'd rather just not bet this mess.
The tweet that Kyle's referring to is probably this one. I said, quote, "My nightmares about this Padres team don't even sniff what I'm watching in Colorado right now. This is so much worse. I'd rather have them K 3 times than get the bases loaded and do diddly poo. There's no way in hell Nick Martinez gets out of this. And sure as shit he didn't. There's no way in hell I'm betting this game.
That was definitely it.
There's no way in hell I'm betting this game. I'm sure the Padres win 10-0 after I bet them last night. But yeah, there's not a chance in hell I bet this game. I'm sorry.
What's the spirits like in Padres Fanville right now? Because I'm on the East Coast. And it's like, is it over? Like, is the season over?
I mean, we're 5 games out. I mean, it's kind of just depends.
Because the Mets are 6 games out, and they're selling.
I mean, we're not selling. I mean, we just traded for Rich Hill and hung in our.
Rich Hill, World Series running coming.
Yeah, so no, I'm just saying that like any idea that they were going to trade Snell and Hader and all those guys is out the window. So they think they're in it. So we'll see what happens. They haven't had Suarez all year.
I like Suarez.
My hopes are not high. My hopes are not high.
Let's see what the poll thinks. And if there was a fuck this game button, I think that would have won this poll. 51% of our viewers betting San Diego, 28% betting Colorado, 14% over. So a lot of people betting the over in this one. That's high for one of these polls. Let's move on to the next game, though, which is Boston at Seattle. Let's run a poll here. Red Sox.
Kirby till I die, baby.
Yeah, that was awesome. I had a full unit on the Mariners, too. Not Kirby, though. Who's the guy hit to him? Cal Raleigh. That's my boy. That's my boy. So, yeah, I had Mariners was, I believe, my top bet last night. Yeah. Mariners was a top bet last night. Big win. This one, I have some issues with this game. Where's my graphics?
I have multiple issues.
So, first of all, let me put it up on the screen. I would say Boston or pass. But everyone's on Boston, and I hate it. I'm not betting the game. But we got Bayo pitching, who, by the way, Bayo's production has dropped off. Here are his numbers in June on the left side of this chart, in July on the right. He's definitely going through a little bit of a speed bump. Now, this kid dominated for 3 straight months, so I'm not going to let 2 starts all of a sudden make me think that he's vulnerable, but something to take note of. Also, Bayo had a dominant start against the Mariners back in May 17th. Mariners bats coming to life, 9th in isolated power, 9th in WRC+. Also, they're hitting righties since July 1st. Mariners are top 10 in most categories against righties. Bryce Miller's been okay. But let's just skip to the end because, first of all, Boston versus righties since July 1st. But check this out. Boston on the road in the last 2 weeks, almost bottom 5 in every single category. But regardless, let's get all the way to the end because this is what I want to talk about right here. This is why it would be Boston or pass.
Blow that up.
The Mariners bullpen usage. This is huge. First of all, keep in mind, Seawold just left. So they just lost their closer. What was that? Yesterday? Day before? It just happened.
Yep.
Munoz has now been thrown into the closer role. He's most likely not going to be available. He's thrown 3 in the last 4 days. This is also a guy who just came off an injury 2-3 weeks ago. So I'm not going to try to pitch this guy 4 days and 5 days. I don't care how low the pitch counts are. Very seriously doubt he's available. No Matt Brash, a guy they like to use. No Saucedo, a guy they always use. Isaiah Campbell, don't know who the hell that is. Threw 30 pitches last night. He's not going to be available. So Mariners bullpen is in a serious pickle in this one. So that's why I would say Boston or pass. But I don't know. It's with everyone betting Boston, it seems like I'm walking into a trap. So I probably won't even put $1 on this.
So I feel the exact same way. I want to see. I'm going to have to wait because here's what I don't want. I kind of want to bet Seattle just because of everybody betting on Boston. I'm like the president of the Brian Bale fan club. Like, I love this kid, but his production has been dropping, and they're such a public dog. It's ridiculous. But what I don't want to happen is and I understand like the lineups are confirmed and whatever, or I don't know if Seattle's is confirmed yet, but no, it's not. So what I don't want to happen is to bet Seattle and then them trade Teoscar Hernandez and maybe somebody else, and then you're kind of sit there waiting to know you're getting somebody else in the lineup like a Dylan Moore or somebody like that that's not nearly as productive. So it's just a hard pass for me. Like, I just can't make a bet on this one right now.
Yeah, the fact that the trade deadline, it's tough right now.
Everything, I will say this, like, everything tells me Boston except for the fact that it's a huge public dog.
Yeah. Actually, on our poll, though, it's not as public. Red Sox did win. 54% of our viewers betting Boston, but 34% betting the Mariners, so it wasn't an absolute blowout. 5% over, 4% under. Let's move on to the next one. Arizona at San Francisco. Last night, this was awesome. So when the Mariners won, I had clinched a winning night, so I already had it clinched. But if the D-backs won and gave me my plus 130, it would have been a great night. And they won, I think they won in the 11th inning. That was awesome. Very fired up about it. So the poll's running for this one, D-backs, Giants. I am definitely on Arizona. I'm going right back to the Snakes. D-backs, money line. I'm good. They broke me off last night. Hopefully they break me off another unit tonight. Zach Gallen pitching, and this is not really a bet on Zach Gallen. I don't know how much I even trust Zach Gallen right now. But that being said, this is a bet against the Giants lineup. So first of all, you can see Zach Gallen's production in June and July, not exactly Cy Young worthy. He's definitely fallen off. His last 5 road starts, not great. 4.55 ERA, 4.34 expected FIP. I mean, not terrible, but not Zach Gallen-esque. He's got solid numbers in his 11 career starts against the Giants. But here's where we get to the reason for the bet. The Giants lineup is so fadeable right now. I don't trust anything about this lineup. Here's their numbers against right-handed pitching since July 1st. 28th in OPS, 27th in WRC plus against right-handed pitching. One of the coldest lineups in baseball. Their numbers at home don't get much better than that. These graphics say Alex Wood, but it's actually Alex Cobb. I explained it last night. We did the whole notes and setup for Alex Wood, and then they switched it to Alex Cobb. But then let's get to the moneymaker, the Giants bullpen usage, because holy shit. Let me ask you, Alex Cobb's pitching, who's coming in after him? Go ahead. Who the hell's coming in after Alex Cobb?
Go ahead. Oh, wait.
Who's coming in? Manaya? You like Manaya? So there's no Duvall. Neither of the Rogers brothers are available. No Scott Alexander, most likely, even though I could see, because they're in such a desperate spot, maybe bringing him in to pitch a third day in a row. But that's not even threatening at all. Even Luke Jackson threw 21 pitches last night. This Giants bullpen is in a situation right now. And Zach Gallen on the mound, I know it seems super square, but I'm on the Snakes, man. Give me the Snakes.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm on the Snakes first 5 and full game. First of all, the Snakes lost those 3 games in Cincinnati, but if you take, the Snakes are a 500 baseball team at home. They're 29-22 on the road. You take those 3 games out. The Reds were good, but I'm just saying that the point is the Snakes play so much better on their road. Their splits are better on the road hitting. And then Zach Gallen, like, I understand, but Toronto, Atlanta, the Angels are not the same hitting types of teams as the Giants are. I fear those teams 10x more than I do the Giants right now. The Giants just simply are not producing at any level right now. Going back in their last few games, 3-4, 3-2. Oh, they got an 8 against Oakland. 2-1-1.
Toaster started skipping. Oh, he's back. You skipped out for a second.
Really?
And
really? Oh, 4 runs or more.
To respond to this guy in the comments, 4-1 meaning his parlay didn't hit. I don't bet parlays, man. Just 4-1. I placed 5 bets, won 4, and lost 1. I had a great night last night. This guy's been weirdly stalking me. I'm on my channels. I don't know what is 4-1 isn't winning. This guy is a clown. What? Okay.
What?
How is 4-1 not winning? Oh man, double digit
math is hard.
double digit IQ folks should have their own language because I just don't understand them. All right, so let's move on to our poll. 56% on Arizona. So yeah, I expected everyone to be with us on this one. A lot of people betting the D-backs. 28% betting the Giants. 10% over. 5%. 10% under. I'm sorry, the under wins another one. 5% over. Let's move on to the next game. Oakland at Dodgers, and I'll run a poll. But
am I back?
Yeah. You were only out for like 5 or 6 seconds.
Okay. Oh, okay, cool.
Athletics, Dodgers, over, under. Lance Lynn making his Dodgers debut. I'm not betting it. I'm taking a pass, but I would love to put some action in on this game, but the lines, as of an hour ago, this line still wasn't even open, so I don't know what's going on. Just a pass for me.
Yeah, it's a pass for me as well. I would love to take Big Ken Waldichuk in the first 5 with this Oakland A's, but it's just really hard for me. I really don't know what to expect. I would expect Lance to pitch pretty well in LA, especially it being his first start there. He does have some decent numbers against the Oakland A's in his career. His last few starts on the road at Oakland, 6 innings, 2 runs, and then obviously he was a White Sox in these. But at home versus Oakland last year, he got hit up. But his other 3 starts against them, he pitched really well. 6 innings, 2 runs, 7 innings, 1 run. So a mixed bag from Fat Lance, to say the least. So it's probably Oakland or pass for me, but I didn't bet it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. Would love to find some value. Maybe if they open the line, I'll tweet something out later. But our poll, everyone's betting Dodgers here. 71% on LA, 17% on Oakland, 9% over, 0% under. So let's talk Underdog Pick'em. All right, I built this one, not Prop Beaver. I built this one myself, and it's a 4. Usually I go 3. It's a 4 pick here, which pays out 10 times if this hits. The legs are, first one, Ranger Suarez, lower than 2.5 earned runs allowed. Fish aren't going to touch my boy. Carlos Rodon, lower than 2.5 earned runs. Sharp play here. I'm playing the Rays being so shitty against lefties. Spencer Strider, higher than 2 earned runs allowed. Angels are going to get them. And Justin Steele, higher than 2 earned runs allowed also. Super sharp there. Like I said, pays 10 times out. And if you don't know...
Breaking news. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, finish, sorry.
Oh, if you don't know what Underdog is, or if you don't have it, it's available in any state highlighted in orange here. Just make an account. Use the promo code BET, B-E-T. Get a $100 deposit bonus matched. So what's your breaking news?
Sorry, the White Sox just traded Jake Berger, so that's another bat out of that lineup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to the Marlins. Let's go fish.
All right, let's do a community parlay.
Hey, come on, it's the community parlay.
All right, community, let's band together and get ourselves a dub here. Good Lord, this community needs a dub.
Dude, guess what? Erod from the Tigers got traded to the Dodgers, and he said, no, I'll use my no trade clause. I'm not going to LA.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know.
Erod putting the hammer down. All right, so community parlay time. All right, so first game, everyone voted Marlins, I think. Second game, Pirates. It was definitely Pirates. Brewers, Nationals. Nationals won that. I remember because the dog won. Rays, Yankees was Rays. All right, first leg of the parlay. Cast your votes. Looks like Marlins. Oh, no. Here come the Pirates. Are the Pirates going to make the community parlay? What is going on? Holy shit, Pirates are running away with this. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, it's the Pirates. The first leg of the community parlay is the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right, let's get the second vote going. It was definitely Orioles. Braves. It was the Braves. Twins Cardinals. I can't remember what they voted. They voted Twins. And then White Sox Rangers, they voted Rangers. All right, second leg of the community parlay. Cast your votes. Toast, someone asked if you had any props to read off.
I'm not really. I've been waiting for all these lineups to drop because I've been waiting. I will be on JP Crawford, hits, runs, and RBIs. If Kim isn't 2.5, I'll be on Kim, hits, runs, and RBIs. Fraley's out because it's a lefty, so one of the lefty killers, whether it be Steer, Senzel, those guys from the Reds, I'll be looking at as well.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner is, it's a dead tie, Orioles, Rangers. All right, we need a 5-second tiebreaker. Orioles, Rangers, go. 5 seconds, and I'm stopping it. Cast your votes. Orioles or Rangers, which one makes it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I think it was Texas. I want this to pop up though.
I will say as far as hit parlays, there's only 4 guys that have 10 hits or more against a pitcher that they're facing, and all 3 of them are Phillies. Harper, Turner, and Real Muto all have really good numbers against Sandy.
Okay. Next we have the Reds. Or did the Cubs win that? No, the Reds won that. Reds, Astros. It was Mets. And then Padres, Rockies was Padres. All right, third leg. Cast your votes. Looks like this one's going to be Houston. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Astros. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. Yep, Houston. Pirates, Rangers, Astros, and one last leg. So where'd we leave off? Padres. Okay, so we got Mariners, or did they vote Red Sox or Mariners? They voted Red Sox. Red Sox, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, and then this. What was that one that? Rangers. Actually, I'm
Rangers already in there.
I'm gonna. Oh yeah, that's right. Orioles it was. Orioles, and then I'll put Reds because they were second place too. All right, final leg of the parlay. Red Sox, D-backs, Orioles, Reds. What's the last leg gonna be? And wow, looking like the Snakes have a shot. Baltimore takes a lead. Give it 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3. When's the last time community parlay hit? It's been a while, at least a couple weeks. It's been ice cold. 3, 2, 1. And D-backs win. Snakes are in.
704.
D-backs money line. Plus 704. All right, community parlay is Pirates money line, Rangers money line, Astros money line, D-backs money line at plus 704. Thanks for watching. I think we're gonna do 2 live shows tomorrow, once with the day games and once with the night games at 11 and 4. I'll let you know for sure. I'll put it up on YouTube, but I think that's what we're gonna do. So everyone have a great night. Remember to bet responsibly. Let's get ourselves a community parlay cast for a change. It's been a while. See you tomorrow. Hopefully with more money in our accounts. Have a good night, guys.